The Olympic Games may be the most iconic event in the world, but even its popularity and important meaning for almost every person weren't enough for its conduct in 2020. Now it seems like the waiting for Tokyo soon will be over. We have enough assurances that the Games are going ahead in 2021. And that's great news for every mad lover of sport like me. But I still see people asking, is it safe enough? Can they postpone it for one more year when the pandemic should be over? Is the importance of the event more significant than keeping people secure and preventing the virus from spreading? More and more questions will occur, and I decided to quickly look at some reasons why the Olympic Games should and should not be held in the summer of 2021. Stay with me, let's board the game. I'm going to start with the first plus, with one simple word: hope. Holding the Olympic Games, gathering people from all over the world at one place, will be a source of hope and example that at some point life will return back to normal. Even if you're on the other side of the planet, just watching live on TV an event from this magnitude actually happening makes your mind react. Life must go on. After the Olympic Games can be organized and held, then there is no reason something else in the life of every one of us can't happen. The Games are going to be a huge cause of optimism in every corner of the globe. But on the other side, we have the risk factor. Many are saying it's unnecessary, because we are going to have thousands of people, even only athletes, at one place. They need to compete in different venues, and despite my unconditional trust in the plans of the Japanese hosts, I still can't see how a working bubble will function. And imagine if something goes wrong. If there is a COVID outbreak in the Olympic Village, for example, the image of the Games, but mostly the image of Tokyo, will be hurt significantly. Is it worth the risk? Many people, I believe, are assuming that athletes will be forced to compete in the Olympic Games. Well, not exactly. Every one of them can say no. But have that in mind. 90% of them are professional athletes, and that's their job, to compete everywhere in the world. That's what they work, receiving money from federations, associations, prize funds and sponsors. And the most important thing, that's their dream. For every athlete, there is nothing bigger than the Olympic Games. 4 years of devoted preparation for the most important competition. And I'm sure that almost nobody wants to miss it. But of course, before athletes, first and foremost, everybody are people, and there is nothing bigger than people's safety. In the summer, safety probably won't be much higher than now. And also, the total from risk, dreams and money won't be the same for every competitor. Many of them have tens of times much smaller income in comparison to the biggest sports stars. So maybe for these athletes, risk will be higher than the benefit. Contrary to the second minus, of course, now we have more ways for prevention. The vaccines weren't available a year ago, and I assume that almost every athlete going to Tokyo is going to be vaccinated. We already have a developed and clarified testing system, and also examples for following COVID-19 protocols for actions in a team which has an infected member. The example comes from football, where there are specific rules in such situations, and also, let's say, handball, where a World Championship was held at the start of the year. But in the summer, there will be probably 4 or 5 different vaccines against COVID. And as we know, every country is making its own choice which one of them to use. More importantly, the restrictions against the spreading of the virus are with huge differences between the countries. And at the end, we will have in Tokyo people from areas with eased restrictions, so it's a potentially hazardous situation. As a fourth plus, I'm diving into the historical significance of the Games. The 4-year cycle and the 2-year one between Summer and Winter Olympic Games are like part of the moving time around us. Sports fans are so used to these periods. And for me, personally, it's a very strange feeling to have the Games in a year with an odd number. And have in mind that another postponement will bring even more chaos, because only at the start of 2022 the Winter Olympic Games should be held in Beijing. But after the unprecedented 1-year delay for Tokyo, after history was already changed, then why not to have the Summer and Winter Games in one calendar year, for the first time since 1992, when Albertville and Barcelona were the host cities? It sounds exciting. And finally, let's talk about money. Because of the rescheduling, hundreds of millions were already lost. The Japanese organizers have invested more than $50 billion in the event and are dealing with unhappy sponsors and TV stations, which have signed multi-million contracts for advertising and broadcasting rights. This is a gigantic amount of money, which can be thrown away with ease, and exactly money are the main guarantee for the games to be held. But what's the main purpose of the Olympic Games when we go back in time? Surely it's not money. It's unity, represented by the interlaced rings, bringing people from different races, cultures, religions all together. And we are talking about the fans, traveling to see their favorite athletes, but also to bring and mix their culture with the others. That's impossible right now. No foreign fans will be allowed in Tokyo, and this most special part about the Olympic Games will be missing. A quick opinion from me at the end. As I see the Games in Tokyo as a valuable psychological asset for humanity right now, I will be really happy to see the event going ahead. And I have the utmost trust in the Japanese hosts that everything on the COVID side will be absolutely fine. My wife is a perfect example for the significance of the Olympic Games. She says, I don't watch sports, but I watch the Olympic Games. Thank you very much for watching. I hope it was interesting for you. Don't forget to leave a like on the video, comment and subscribe. Until next time, in Board the Game.